The relentless, hysterical, 6-month-long media campaign to delegitimize Trump was firmly based around setting the narrative that he's an illegitimate dictator. They're radicalizing the violent alt-left. We've seen the attacks on Trump supporters. We've seen the crazies trying to scale the White House fence over and over again. This summer, the situation could explode. The drive to impeach Donald Trump will lead to either war abroad or war on the streets of America. Sources close to the White House indicate to us that sleeper cells within the administration, turncoats, will be the leading voices in the push to impeach Donald Trump. The same traitors responsible for the leaks, in alliance with never-Trump Republicans, are feverishly working with the Democratic Party establishment to sabotage Trump. And thanks to the media, bought and paid for by the deep state, the propaganda is working.
But clearly we're on the trail there to an impeachment.
Are we getting closer and closer to the possibility of yet another impeachment process?
I rise today, Mr. Speaker, to call for the impeachment of the President of the United States of America.
Are well on our way to impeachment.
Odds of Trump being impeached by the end of 2017 have shot up past 30%. 48% of Americans want to see it happen, and that's because the media has engaged in blitzkrieg-like onslaughts of deception. We're told this Comey memo is, quote, deeply troubling. So troubling that Comey sat on it for 3 months. So troubling that he kept it quiet for all that time and only released it days after he was fired. What a coincidence! So Trump tells Comey that he hopes he'll be fair to Flynn because he thinks he's a good man. And the media calls this obstruction of justice. Even CNN admits that this is part of the deep state's revenge against Trump.
We know that this is, they talk about the deep state. Well, these are communities that have a lot of loyalty within and know how to get back, even if you're the president of the United States.
The same revenge that Chuck Schumer promised with an evil glint in his eye before Trump even took office.
Let me tell you, you take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.
The leak to the Washington Post. Trump tells Russia how to protect innocent people from being blown up on a plane by ISIS, and he's the monster for trying to save lives. Not a single shred of evidence has ever been presented to prove Trump colluded with Russia to influence the election. But that doesn't matter to these people. The end justifies the means. And the end game is the elimination of Trump at whatever cost to the country. Isn't it rich how they still grandstand like they've got the moral high ground? Keith Olbermann begging foreign countries to launch a coup d'etat. You're literally trying to incite the overthrow of a democratically elected president. You don't have the moral high ground. These people are perfectly willing to see the country fail if it means they can claim they were proven right about Trump. They're quite happy to see the plane go down, even though they're on it, just to soothe their butthurt about losing the election. Difference is, they've got parachutes. The middle and working class Americans who voted for Trump don't. And they're the ones who are going to suffer. There are 2 courses of action for Trump. Either he initiates a massive purge of fifth columnists within his administration, as well as completely replacing his communications team, which steadfastly refuses, or is too incompetent and weak to fight back on any of these issues. The deep state has declared war on Trump. It's time to fight back. The other option is war. You saw what happened after the airstrike on Syria. The deep state left him alone for a few weeks, and his approval rating recovered. Trump could launch a massive war and rally the country around that last refuge of scoundrels, patriotism. But that's exactly what the deep state wants. And once it's over, they'll just keep undermining Trump anyway. Where's this all heading? If the media intensifies this effort to portray Trump as illegitimate, which it will, the situation will explode onto the streets. You'll see massive riots in major American cities this summer. And I'm not talking about protests that boil over. I'm talking full-blown LA-style riots. deaths and destruction of property. It may be triggered by something unrelated to Trump, but the frenzy will all feed into this collapse narrative. That's where it's heading, and that's where they want it to go. The collapse of the Trump presidency, if it cannot be stopped, will make the collapse of Venezuela look like a walk in the park. What could be more triggering to libtards than my face and this slogan? Get your new premium quality "Conservatism is the new counterculture" t-shirt right now at InfoWarsStore.com and let the butthurt commence.